Let me just make sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. The lights on.
Right. Yeah. Where's the problem? All right, we are calling panel, calling this meeting to order. It is 7:22-ish. I, go. This is a workshop. Here, right here. With vice chair, we have secretary. Beach. Three. Is enough for we help. Maine. Both ways to make sure that our technology works. You know, actual meeting next week. Do the same recording. So, okay with that. Do that for nobody joining us at this point. No, I mean in general. I don't. Public, private. The party. No. So, not ask them for confirmation. So absent, we have and establish that work. Everybody else. One of the things sort of found going through our potential land use is section 5. Yes. What you had decided was that it's day that a very basic definition of what that meant. Probably it should be our next step for the town. Yeah. I believe continue. Yes. Yeah. So, I mean, I have it at 48.9, but it may be something else. But basically, it is a very, very rough. And just these definitions to see if that was something the town was thought was a good starting spot before we started dealing with deep down what actually is allowed and isn't allowed and how we're figuring it out. So yeah, well, I think part of it is that meeting with the selectmen next time, the thoughts were, our thoughts were that probably some sort of a public, put it out there and have some sort of a public discussion about it. Because again, have a that mosting of the map. It's always questions. Yeah, is where's my property going to fall in? I mean, this is at this point reasonably vague, but that's okay. It's primarily designed to have a mixture. Like these are not sit down at a meeting and everybody says, I really would like to see the Dollar General village. Right. Don't see the cement plant, the village. You know, that's sort of basics of let's start out with the majority, because nobody's ever going to be anything everybody's happy with. That the majority of people feel comfortable with that. Which you can do this sort of thing for the most part here, this sort of thing here, and this sort of thing here. There's a couple of places that, you know, that are aquifer that like may want to discourage things because of the impact, and some of the higher mountains that may be discouraged. But yeah, I think the map that we finally get back, I think. Well, we're gonna call it. That I think was, yeah, was a, because we didn't go with, we didn't zoning that is, I think in general, the way you set up is center of the road, which I think is fairly normal. That a million years ago, folks, everybody here except Cam and I, that was a discussion about figuring out how far back we wanted to go from the center of the road to figure out what. I think something below looks all yeah. I think if you, yeah, part of one of the issues with somebody, there's a couple of big lots. Everybody's gonna be happy. Yeah, we're off. Again, that should be an any. Well, it may be soon for both. This is a starting spot. One page. Well, at one point. Oh, great. What we don't talk about for a while. So that would be sort of like what's already there and then finish that. But I don't know what even if the no one can be part of raw. Yeah, I think about that. Okay. That's it. A lot of things you can do anyway, because we shouldn't. This is near extremity, you know, like that. And move the. That's. Medical, not evidence. So we head on. Nobody really knows what that is. Just say it.
Oh, monkey pond.
So that's. Wet. Well, all right, but yeah, I mean, that was, I think part of the discussion is that we would talk to the selectmen about how best to end that. I think the base definition at math, people are super opposed to that, we might as well not do something.
Yes.
You know, that would, yeah, I think these definitions as such, you know, we had some questions. What's compact commercial? Well, probably something. Right, although it was just smaller. And I think that there should be some sort of, you know, in the village, you can have a storefront in the village. Probably shouldn't have a giant storefront in the village. So a small storefront, pretty much acceptable. The square footage to what we decide and be up to what voters want. Sure.
They told me. You're doing the sign out here, then actually come up with a program for this is a hard reading for that, so to be increased slabs. Here that. Anyway. Billboard, you know, yeah, billboard is big, so you can't do that. Okay.
Yeah. But, you know, certainly. There was a car dealership I used to go by that had an old Safeway and one of those arrow signs on top of it. It was not local friendly, let's put it that way. But he said they couldn't.
They just. So I saw.
No, and they're not the first week to sign for Sugar Shack. That's not there. Got a big sign out front. It tells you to go somewhere else. I mean, yeah. We don't, which also means that if you know, the business in, there used to be, you used to have the thing about the auto museum and house or whatever.
Whose property?
Um,
Yeah, it's.
I think it went up. Hell, Bill, no, I'm not even sure. I'm not sure anymore. There we
Yeah,
go.
there was something.
But anyway, that's the gist of what we sort of decided that maybe that would be the place to start. Deal with,
Yeah.
you know, maybe
One.
yeah, I mean, because realistically, there's no twofold. One, there's something everybody needs. Because if you own land and you're hoping to sell it to treatment facility, you know, want them many times in evening. But if you don't want to live next to it. Yeah, and if you, again, you read the definition, primarily designed, you know, doesn't say you can't do at this point, but as the town decide what, that's what can get done. We married any yes or no's in any of that, that's what the input is for. You need to have like figure out what's, just go do it. What's, yeah, let's wait a minute. Draft, yeah, or just draft, because that's another. Yeah.
Or even,
Face here.
looks like you do want to draft. What, like now? Exactly, he said, exactly.
Yeah.
This is not. It's not done deal. And by the way, Pam does have the bigger.
Yeah, bigger. Anyway, so yeah,
Every farm space.
and that's the goal. What makes the most sense to put that out there and get feedback. Kind of feel like. Mm.
And I know some people.
We struggled a lot with, I don't know, on really trying very hard to do.
Yeah.
You know, as a kid, you know, oh. Yeah, when you get hesitant,
It ghosted in there.
so.
Working.
That's. You need to figure out how to make it.
Now,
Sometimes what sounds semi-reasonable. Yeah.
People, and then have thought of what it's.
What they want. Yeah. Meetings. I get several people that, but I haven't heard you about the tax. Something say that sounds like that. Indian, I think.
Yeah, he said, you know, that. You know what? For that, you know, but I think the other thing too is that
Oh, that's certainly true. I think lots of people, you know. Well, we selected her on the agenda, and our thought last time was to have a conversation about the best way to go forward with that. Whether we should put it on the town website, and we all sort of thought the public hearing made some sense, but you can't vote on anything. Anyway. Well, you know, suggestion box where, again, this needs to sort of be a whole effort. And, you know, need to be, look at it, think about it before you're just against it. Be against it for a reason instead of, like, starting with number 5. Right. So number 5 for offer constructive, you know, because again, these definitions are pretty vague, but at least it gives you an idea of what the hell you're talking about. Yeah, I mean, when we talked earlier about could we just do the map, he was like, well, not really. I think you would need something to at least tell you what that, you know, you can't just vote in the map, colors. You need some sort of, even if you started with everything still follows the original land use. However, we're going to call it this, this, and this. You know, why is this sort of on its own? Anyway, so that's sort of that. Do we have anything we need to go through prior? Yes. And then so talk about next week. Like Monday. Yeah. Good planning. Yeah. Yeah, I get that. No bad word. Okay. Regular meeting. August and the selectmen month. On the agenda. Everybody has one from agenda. No. You know, we're out of the way. That's shit.
Yeah, yes.
Which is like.
Maybe the second scene. Maybe.
That is even Monday.
Yeah, well,
Any other days, else is going.
Tuesday after. You get pulled up, see what everybody else is up to, but
I don't know, we'll see, you know, we need to do some.
at the same point, how much do we want to work on? Yeah, maybe we'll have to do our own, because again, if we're gonna get anything done, we've gotta do it. So. Yes. All right. Break that, Doug's gonna have some stuff for us. Pretty much everything on there is. See where we're at. I'll know what we have the select minutes to talk to a little bit about how we want to go forward on our zoning.
I'll see what they have to say for us. Yep. All those in favor? Yeah.